To start test chat. Alright, chat is up. Alright, hello, and we are back with Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. We're on the healer run.
Oh.
The angel for the healer's run to recover. What's up?
Are they both called Pathfinder?
Yeah. Hmm. Alright, let me see. Where was I last we left off? We just finished dealing with the companion quest. We're going into the Rapture of Rupture. Now, if I remember right, there's supposed to be a heavy wisdom save I'm supposed to try to pass here. Need to figure out how to raise my wisdom bonus. I have a cloak of resistance +4. It's as good as it gets, unfortunately. I think. Hold on. Character makes a will save, does damage. Nope. Is there anything that helps the wisdom saving throws? Headband, +4 wisdom. Ring of Luck, +1 on all of those animal saving throws. Okay. Is there any other rings? Oh, wait, what? Alright, so I'm running around with a +17 bonus to wisdom saving throws. Is there anything else I can use to increase my save? Doesn't look like it. Oh. Alright. Let me check the other characters, see if they have anything. This one clearly doesn't. But maybe Sela has something. Anything that raises saving throws? Nope. That's unfortunate.
I stand ready.
see here. So shadow, Guardian doesn't help me. Resist. None of this helps. Shield. Faith. Displacement. Okay.
I will not falter.
Let me hit up on that. We'll do less, I guess. I don't know if morale bonus is stacked, but it's worth a shot. Cleansing fire. Alright, any and all damage we have to our hand is gone. And heroic invocation. There it is. Okay.
I will help where I can.
Bestow grace. This does what exactly? Grant that creature sacred bonus to saving throws equal to charisma bonus, if any. Sweet. That should help us pass this. Alright, so I have a will save bonus of 25 now. With that, I should be able to go and not have my mind read. Okay. You are surrounded by the sound of a melodious voice that seems to be coming from the stone pillars all around you. Greetings, esteemed guest. Are you here to seek the hospitality of the illustrious Lady Velexia, or are you here on other business? The entrance to this manor greets you politely. It is far more gracious than the impudent foul-mouthed door at the 10,000 Delights. What are you? I am both the gate and the gatekeeper. My responsibilities include greeting guests, ascertaining the purpose of their visit, and deciding whether to allow them entry to the manor. Whose manor is this? This manor is called the Rapture of Rupture, and it belongs to the incomparable Lady Velexia. She is the shining star of Elutionera, and its most glorious resident, after the magnificent Lady Nocticula, of course. And who created you? Lady Velexia enchanted me herself and personally entrusted me with my responsibilities. She possesses a wide range of impressive talents. I am just a humble testament to her skill, and cannot compare to the true masterpieces that she creates with her abilities. Can I come in? If you seek the patronage of the illustrious Lady Velexia, I will not stand in your way. If you are here by invitation, esteemed guest, you have brought a gift for the lady. You will also be allowed entrance to the Rapture of Rupture. So can anyone just walk in? Lady Velexia has nothing to fear. Those who are foolish enough to try to harm her in her own house are quick to realize their mistake. Fair enough. I seek Lady Valexia's patronage and would like to enter. Welcome to the Rapture of Rupture, esteemed sir. Lady Velexia will be notified of your arrival right away. And there we go. Let's see. Phylexia. The demon that comes to greet you has blonde hair and is wearing a modest but elegant dress. She seems surprisingly friendly. Her soft voice and impeccable manners seem out of place in a city where extreme passions and boundless indulgence prevail over temperance and moderation. A new guest has arrived. How exciting! A mortal from Galarian. If my eyes do not deceive me, what brings you to my manor? This is all very intriguing. Phylexia. We have clashed in battle many times. Her claws were always stained with the blood of those she killed on the battlefield. Now she looks different, but I am certain that her true nature remains unchanged. She is still violent and dangerous. You must be on your guard, champion. Phylexia greets Arueshalae with a cordial nod. Sweetheart, you should have told me you were coming. I would have organized a reception to celebrate your return. I must confess, I rather missed having you around, but all is forgiven, and I hope that I can count on you among my regular guests once more. Arueshalae forces a smile. Thank you for your hospitality, Phylexia. But I doubt that you'll find me very interesting. Things have changed since my last visit. I am a different person now. Arueshalae leans towards you and whispers, I have to warn you, Phylexia is much more dangerous than she looks. She knows how to be amicable, but it's only a pretense. Her friendly demeanor is as fake as everything else in this city. If you look behind the mask, you will see someone who is old, cruel, and utterly insane. Someone who adores random acts of senseless violence. Trust me, I used to know her in my past life. Oop. It double clicked.
So what's that mean?
It means I'm going to skip some dialogue. Socio. Socio looks embarrassed. He speaks reluctantly, as if he finds the words difficult. I am sure the heart that beats within your chest is wicked and merciless, but my goddess demands that I am sincere when I see true beauty, though I dread to ask how many lives such beauty has taken. Phylexia responds, such a compliment, sudden and unsophisticated, yet surprisingly delightful. I never thought that words of admiration from a mortal could touch my heart, but it seems that praise from a cleric of Shelyn can make even a succubus feel flattered. Alright. Everyone talks a lot about you here in Elutionera. Who are you? Phylexia laughs happily. How refreshingly direct. Well, let me tell you a little about myself. My name is Lady Phylexia, but it is common for others to add a few epithets before my name. Often something like magnificent or illustrious. I hold considerable influence in the upper city. You could even call it my little queendom. I'm the foremost member of the city's elite, and all the aristocrats of Elutionera acknowledge me as their de facto leader. You might be under the misconception that the city is ruled by Chimera, but Chimera is nothing more than a glorified cleaner, entrusted with the responsibility of tending to the latrines. I, on the other hand, hold sway over the most powerful and influential demons in the city. You see, my dear friend Nocticula allows me to lead the nobility because I look out for her interests. She knows that I am loyal. Unlike most demons, I do not aspire to power beyond what I already possess. I would never stage a coup against Our Lady in Shadow, nor would I ever use my position in society to support anyone else in such a foolish endeavor. I seek your patronage, magnificent Valencia. And sure. Valencia shows off her perfectly styled hair as she playfully twists a strand around her finger. A Galarian... Hmm? Yeah. One of these. Alright. A Galarian warrior who seeks the patronage of a demon from the upper city. And you're a crusader, no less. Ah, this is most intriguing. You are a curious creature indeed, and I would be very interested to learn more about you. There's no need to bother with titles. You can simply call me Valencia, and you are? Don't put your trust in her words, champion. Valexia's temper is like the wind that blows across Ishiar. It changes constantly, and bodes poorly for us no matter what direction it turns. You must watch her as vigilantly as a skilled sailor watches the horizon. My name will remain a secret. Valexia claps her hands in delight. You would prefer to remain incognito? A mystery knight. Isn't that what you'd be called on Galarian? How absolutely charming. Well, my mysterious new friend, I have a proposal for you. Let's pick a place that's nice and romantic and go on an innocent little date together. It'll be a chance for us to get to know one another. How about the Battle Bliss? It offers simple, spirited entertainment, and it will be a good place for us to talk undisturbed. No one will notice us because they'll be too busy watching the fights in the pit. We can have a nice conversation and learn more about one another. I'll be waiting for you at the arena. I hope you'll accept my invitation. I will be very disappointed if you deny me the pleasure of your company. Alright, Valexia gives you an admiring smile and adds, after all, you are the champion. You have conquered the arena. We're better to learn more about you than in the place you proved your worth. Sure, I'd like to get to know you better. I am flattered by your attention, and I find your personality intriguing. You know, I take great interest in promising young talent, and I tend to offer my patronage to gifted artists. Unfortunately, many of them turn out to be frauds, unable to keep me entertained for more than a few seconds. An acquaintance of mine mentioned that you used to fly naked over Lucianera. They said you wreaked havoc and terrorized the city in every way imaginable. Valexia blushes slightly and hastily brushes off the question. Oh no, that's preposterous. Those are just ridiculous rumors and exaggerated stories. Of course, when I was younger, I may have allowed myself to be a little too exuberant. But still, what a blatant lie. Flying naked? Such outrageous nonsense. The demon tries to pretend she is outraged, but a sly, self-satisfied smile plays about her lips. You are not like the other demons. Why is that? Time. It's a simple answer, but true. I know a lady is never supposed to reveal her age, but suffice it to say that I am far older than this city, and can recall the circumstances in which it was founded. During the ages that have passed, I have had time to play various roles. Perhaps if the gods of Galarian are generous and bless you with longevity, we will meet again. But if that does happen, say 1,000 years from now, I will be completely different. As time passes, I grow bored with each new version of myself. And since boredom is my sworn enemy, I have to reinvent myself to escape its grasp. When you feel bored, it is always so horrible. You've tried so much in your life, but have you ever tried to become good? It is very hard and takes a very long time, so you won't have a chance to be bored. Valencia eyes Ember with mild curiosity, as if observing a mildly amusing animal in a zoo. Is she here to entertain you with her oddities? I also enjoy the company of jesters, though I wouldn't like to have one of them as my constant companion. What made you interested in me? Oh, thank you. Let's see. You are so modest. Alexia nods knowingly. You are a Galarian warrior, and you are responsible for securing several major victories in the World Room. You had the courage to descend into the abyss, and now you've chosen to pay me a visit. Moreover, you are not here to wave a sword in my face, but to have a nice conversation. Now be honest, if you were me, wouldn't you be intrigued? You are very powerful, aren't you? It is true that my name carries a certain degree of prestige here in Illusionera. My advice, based on millennia of experience, can be truly valuable. And my adventurous life has allowed me to acquire extensive connections, as well as an impressive collection of powerful curiosities. Oh, now really, just listen to me, talking your ear off like a market seller. The demon laughs at herself good-naturedly. Are you skilled in the magic of enchantments? Yes, that's one of my many talents. A life that spans thousands of years can be a challenge for even the most lively and curious of minds. I am always looking for something new and exciting to do, so I have studied many strange subjects. I take particular interest in anything bizarre or unusual. Why do you like to support your young talent? Alexia glances at you coyly and gives you a charming smile. I could have told you that I am driven by pure altruism and the desire to perform good deeds, and you would have thought me the kindest and most noble of demons. But the truth is that I am easily bored, and by attracting the young and the gifted, I can discover something new every day. They keep me entertained, and to be honest, they add to my prestige. I like making new friends, and with my help, those friends can become very influential indeed. What happens to those who fail to interest you? Alexia looks at you uncomprehendingly for several moments, then bursts into a peal of musical laughter. So you've heard those ridiculous rumors? Don't pay any attention to them. They're all so boring. Whoever invented them has no imagination. I've heard rumors that I kill them, that I keep them in my dungeons, and even just imagine that I rape them until they drop dead from exhaustion. It's all an extraordinary load of rubbish. I haven't done anything like that for at least a couple of millennia. Ew. Thank you for your answers. Alexia gives you a charming smile. Thank you for being interested in what I have to say. I have to go. Hold on. Alexia's gaze drifts between you and Illusionera with lazy curiosity. I can see the way you look at one another. You can't hide things like that from me. Could it be, my girl, that you have decided to play the most dangerous of all games? I don't know what you are talking about, Lady Valexia. Ruchelet does her best to sound polite, but you can tell she is scared. What do you mean by that? Every pleasure is available to us here in the Abyss, but which is the most dangerous? The most offensive? Tell me, what is the most unthinkable perversion for a succubus? Valexia pauses dramatically, then answers her own question. Why, it is sweet self-deception, of course. The gentle feeling so cherished by mortals, to let down your guard and relinquish control, to expose your delicate, defenseless throat and persuade yourself, just for a moment, that your partner does not want to rip it open. Oh, this game is far more dangerous than any entertainment involving chains, whips, and needles. You see, there are only two ways it can end. The first ending is quite simple. You grow tired of the game, so you stop playing. Only yesterday you were persuading yourself that you couldn't live without your beloved, and today you don't feel like letting your beloved into the house. However, the second ending is far more exciting. If you allow the game to continue, one of you will eventually decide to take advantage of the other's defenselessness. In this situation, the game ends when one of you regains control of your senses and kills the other before they muster up their own courage to strike. Strikes. Rubbish. On each other. This game is not your. You should feel like no, it's not. No, we're not gonna. Chile is not like you. She doesn't. Things, whatever they may be, are real. Sure, we'll go for this one. Ruchelet is not like you. She doesn't play those demon games anymore. Her feelings, whatever they may be, are real. You're right. Thank you for reminding me, Ruchelet whispers. Ah, of course. That is exactly what you should be saying to one another. Deceiving yourselves is the hardest part of the game, and the most delightful. Valexia smiles warmly as she bids you farewell. Please don't stay away too long. Come back soon. How long do these buffs last? 3 hours. How long does the Paladin spell last? Bestow Grace, 12 minutes. Alright. Night's Vengeance. Whatever. Yeah, there shouldn't be anything here other than now that we dealt with what's his name? Sovereign Melik. There we go. We'll go to 10,000 Delights, and then from there, teleport to the Battle Base. Alright. So here, there's a portal. Where's the portal at? There it is. Go to the portal. Go to the Battle Bus, and we move on. Alright. Just gotta change the camera angle. Oh, no, it was at the right camera angle. And from here, we go to talk to Alexia and move on. For your date, Phylexia has swapped out her previous dress for an equally elegant outfit. The blood-red hue of her new gown seems particularly fitting considering the activities of the arena. There you are, my friend. Let's hurry to the box reserved for distinguished guests. I'm determined not to let you enjoy the spectacle from any other seat. Your new dress is very elegant. The demon blushes slightly and gives you a pleased smile. I am flattered that you notice such things, especially here in the arena, where there are so many other sights to capture your attention. Speaking of which, the fight is about to start. Fierce battle unfolds in the arena. The bloody freak surges forward, launching into a brutal attack against Atselm. Atselm desperately tries to resist the onslaught, but the bloody freak is relentless. He strikes one furious blow after another, showing no signs of exhaustion or fatigue as he bears down on his opponent. Atselm attempts to fight back against her enemy with quick sudden strikes, but fails to find an opening. Her movements begin to slow, and her footsteps leave behind a crimson trail of blood. Phylexia observes you closely, her eyes sparkle with lively curiosity, and you are forced to turn your attention away from the fight as she asks. Slavery is the cornerstone of our life in the Abyss, and gladiator fights are a popular source of entertainment. How are such shows perceived on your homeland on Valerian? What is your view on slavery? We're as good can be. Slavery is disgusting. Phylexia recoils slightly in mock horror, and then she bursts out laughing. I can see that a genuine passion burns in your heart. and that you are willing to fight for your beliefs until the end. I like that. With a victorious growl, the bloody freak hurls himself recklessly at his rival, who appears to be exhausted from her wounds. However, Atsum was merely feigning weakness. She dodges at the last moment and strikes a resounding blow. Blood gushes from the demon's wound, and his growl of rage gives way to a howl of desperation. Phylexia glances disinterestedly at the arena, then returns her attention to you. She's clearly more interested in conversation than in watching the fight. Nevertheless, even Galarians who are not enslaved are often forced to fight by those in authority, yet they still charge into battle with as much zeal as those two gladiators down in the arena. So tell me, what gives them the motivation to fight? What do they hope to achieve? Our conscience and our nobility lead us into battle. The demon laughs loudly, though not unkindly. Ah, how touching, such sincerity of belief. It is so charming. There are many warriors in the Abyss who are eager to fight, but they lack both the strength of your resolve and the genuine faith that you have in the rightness of your cause. Atsum, no longer putting up a pretense of weakness, advances against the bloody freak, dealing him several painful blows. She strikes with precision, drawing blood, but never delivering a fatal blow. The audience goes wild as Atsum toys with her opponent, and the smell of blood hangs heavy in the air. There is no doubt that the merciless symphony of violence being played out in the arena will soon reach its deadly crescendo. But the bloody freak isn't finished. He lets out a monstrous, bloodthirsty howl. It reverberates around the arena as he channels his powerful rage into one last brutal attack. He strikes as swift as lightning, and Atsum's flurry of blows is brought to a sudden halt. She sways slightly, then doubles over as if embracing the blade that was just plunged through her body. Then, with another primal roar, the demon cuts her down, dispatching his weakened opponent with one powerful strike. Phylexia watches Atsum closely. She muses thoughtfully. But every warrior will meet their death eventually. How do Galarians face the end of their life? Are they scared of death? Do they despise it? Or do they welcome it as a friend? The memories of the deceased live on through their deeds. Phylexia looks at you with newfound respect. Your words distinguish you from a multitude of fools who think only about themselves and give no thought to the future. They fear death, and they tremble at the thought that their prophetic lives will come to an end. The screams and howls of the crowd are deafening. The bloody freak, oblivious to his numerous wounds, basks in the admiration of the audience. The arena master's voice rings out across the battle blitz. Oh, hail the winner! Hail the bloody freak! Hepzibah rises from her place and announces loudly, I want this bloodthirsty fighter to be my servant. From now on, he is my slave, and anyone insolent enough to object will face my wrath. Let's see. Do you want to outbid Hepzibah for this fierce gladiator? Velexia looks at the bloody freak doubtfully, then turns back to you. He is a formidable fighter. I'll give him that, but I doubt Hepzibah will forgive anyone who steals her prize from under her nose. Do you think it wise to antagonize her? Velexia looks at you curiously. If you outbid Hepzibah for this gladiator, you'll wipe the smirk off her arrogant face. Yeah, that's probably better. Let's try that. I just need a 5. Alright, what did I get? I got a 17. Alright, Velexia averts her gaze, but fails to hide her mischievous smile. What a positively delightful idea. I can't resist. What you do to me. You've discovered my weakness. Only moments ago, Hepzibah commanded the attention of the entire audience as she boasted about her power. However, when Velexia rises from her seat, all eyes turn toward the succubus. I dare to challenge the claim of the most esteemed Hepzibah. I am touched by this fighter's tenacity. He has found a way to my heart, and I wish to make him my bodyguard. If anyone dares to argue against my right to make such a claim, they can say it to my face. The arena master glances cautiously at Hepzibah, then he turns to Velexia and gives her a respectful nod. The crowd erupts into jeers and shouts, clearly enjoying the public humiliation of Baphomet's daughter. Hepzibah bellows and utters wild curses, and the sounds of her wrath shake the arena. But Velexia ignores her threats with a look of magnificent disdain, and gives you a sly smile. This was so exciting. I've enjoyed our time together here at the arena. However, I cannot resist the urge to appear with you somewhere in high society. I'm sure you wouldn't say no to attending a private reception with me at the Harem of Ardent Dreams. Shamira has prepared something special for her guests, and I would very much like for you to experience it with me. I shall wait for you at the Harem of Ardent Dreams. You really must come. I simply won't take no for an answer. Velexia suddenly pauses as she is about to leave. She turns towards you with a look of gentle reproach. Oh, you should have reminded me. I nearly forgot. After such a wonderful time together, you must become a regular guest. I insist. Please accept this little gift as a reminder that the doors of my manor are always open to you. This coin is a key to the teleportation earth, located in the upper city. I would not normally give something like this to my ordinary guests, but there's nothing ordinary about you, is there? Alright, cool. And with that out the way, where is the Harem of Ardent Dreams? I think it's supposed to be somewhere near past the flesh markets. Okay, with that done, we go to this is 10,000 delights. So we wait. Alright. Outside. And I'm thinking. Alright. From the Harem of our Dreams. Yeah. It's like one of the portals down this way. Here. There's a nice house. Right.
Our path leads on.
Check things out with Ladverk. See, greetings, good sir. Right. I decided the Aasimar captives would be safer at my camp. Alright, let's see. The Aasimar appears doubtful. I am infinitely grateful that you freed those unfortunates, but you should have sent them to me. They survived a terrible shock, perhaps even abuse. They need a kinsman's care. Someone who can understand them, listen to them, and try to heal the scars left by their ordeal. I fear that eking out a meager existence in an army camp surrounded by gruff-armed soldiers will only reopen their wounds. Incubus Butcher. The demons examine you, their gazes both avaricious and imperious. Their leader, a misshapen demon whose facial features exhibit not even a passing acquaintance with symmetry, issues a commanding bark. Shut up, everyone, and get on the ground, on your stomachs, turn out your pockets. Perhaps we will settle for taking your gold and spare your lives, but you, my sweet morsel, will be leaving with us in pieces. The demon grins malevolently at Ladverk. Behind the chatty demon, a huge Vavakia stares sleepily at his feet. A large, cloudy crystal sticks out of his chest. Several smaller crystals have broken through his skin in several places, like young saplings bursting forth from the earth's embrace. A slimy fringe of thick red saliva hangs from the monster's slack jaw. He gives a surprised snort, then grunts shyly at you. Who are you? The demon with the lopsided face spits on the floor, then replies cockily, "We're the best in the Assassin Guild. Mess with us and we'll mess you up. How'd you come here?" The demon's finger, as crooked as his ugly mug, points at Ladverk. This Aasimar misfit has made a certain someone very angry. So angry they put a large bounty on his head. Which is why we're going to gut him. festoon this dismal hovel with garlands made of his entrails, then play ball with his stupid little noggin. Point at the Vavakia standing behind the demons. Who's that brute tagging along with you? This? Oh, this here's our Gouger. We found him in the sewers below Alucionera, barely breathing. We were going to cut his throat, but he's so addled he's tame enough, and mighty strong. Someone must have scrambled his brains real hard. Now everybody knows not to screw with us, or we wake Gouger up and then they're done for. The demon glances at the Vavakia with mingled pride and wariness. Intimidate. Yeah, I'll try just because of the likelihood of me getting a tens on my is pretty low. You're not assassins, you're just common rabble. Yeah, fail. The demons respond with jeering laughter, showing you with graphic gestures precisely what they're going to do to you and what anatomical consequences it is going to have. A natural one. Of course. Alright. Attack. You will regret coming here. We weren't paid for you, but since you won't let up, we might as well take you out too. Get him, Gouger. The demon takes a wild swing at the Vavakia's side, slashing it wide open. Drops of blood fly in a wide arc as the talkative bandit leaps nimbly away from the giant, whose eyes light up with unbridled hatred. The monster gives a deafening howl.
Yet another obstacle.
Cast Wrath of the Righteous. There's only one left. Already. So we'll just blow him up with several casts of justice. Oh, never mind. The demon squeals, desperately trying to wipe away the blood gushing from his snout. In a surprising turn of events, a blow during the scuffle must have set his nose straight. Wait, sir, don't kill me. I'll tell you everything. It was Red Mask from the Bad Luck who came up to us and gave us the money. Who sent you? We don't know her name. Everybody calls her Red Mask because that's what she's always wears. We have no idea who or what she is beneath the mask. She sits in the Bad Luck all day guzzling booze like there's no tomorrow. Who is this Red Mask? Damned if I know. Some kind of a woman. Definitely not a demon. She's one of yours, an outsider. But she's got an edge to her, and her mask is scary as anything. No, that's nothing about it. Nope. Finish him. Filth like you doesn't deserve to live. Latverk folds his hands in a gesture of prayer, wailing in utter despair. I beg you, please protect me. Unless she is stopped, Red Mask will get to me. And even worse, to my wards. I do not fear death, but these girls must not be hurt again. I cannot put an end to Red Mask's depravity. But you can. I appeal to you, your mercy. Find her and stop her once and for all. Who is this Red Mask? I haven't the slightest idea. No doubt some villain displeased by my attempts to save my kin from slavery. Perhaps a dark soul that revels in crime and the suffering it brings. I have never met this creature before. I'll deal with her. The Aasimar allows himself a weak smile. You have a generous and courageous heart. I will be praying for your success. Loot the place. Get a duly rewarded payment for our troubles here. It's okay. It's still great equipment.
I will do this.
The Harem of Ardent Dreams. Here it is. I'll deal with Red Mask in a bit. First time here, a fearsome-looking succubus steps forward, blocking your path. Are you sure you're welcome here? This is the Harem of Ardent Dreams, the Palace of Chimera, chief demoness of this city after Nocticula, of course. But when did Nocticula ever care about our petty concerns? Bottom line, this palace belongs to the person who really runs everything around here. Got it? I wish to enter. The demon shrugs. You are known in the city. I don't think Chimera would deny you an audience. Come in. And there we go. Notes on a ripped paper. The piece of paper is covered in sloppy writing on both sides. The phrases are incomplete, indicating that someone was taking notes pretty much on the go. Major, Lamashtu, demon goddess, former demon lord, will swat you without even noticing, grovel and suck up to her, and pray she's in a good mood. Nocticula, Our Lady, Queen of the Midnight Isles, rules Lucianera in general. Let's see.
If you need more.
Thank you.
One
Yeah, I'll just take it right now. Thank you. Alright. Let's see. Our Lady, Queen of the Midnight Isles, rules Lucianera in general, and Chimera in particular. Obey all her orders and never turn your back on her. Chimera, Lucianera's steward. Bangs Nocticula, naturally in good standing with her. If you want to live in Lucianera, you'd better respect her. Allies, Dascari, Demon Lord, rules the Rasping Rifts. Nocticula's ally for now, made some deal with her. Now his servants are all over the Midnight Isles. Don't touch them. That's not allowed. If you off a Dascari cultist by mistake, hide the body, cover the tracks, and pretend you know nothing. Important. Dascari may be an ally, but he's a spawn of Pazuzu who tussles with Lamashtu. Careful. Baphomet, Demon Lord, rules the Ivory Labyrinth. Best buds with Dascari. Nocticula's ally for now. Used to bang Lamashtu, now bunks up with Sokoftanov. Dangerous. His cultists can slip into enemy ranks better than worms in your ass. Watch out. If you spot double agents, bug out at once. Enemies. Pazuzu. Demon Lord rules High Mevania. fights with Lamashtu, and by proximity with Baphomet. Sakafbanoth. Demon Lord rules the cathedral Thelemic. Nocticula's brother and former lover. Got the boot, now sulks and wallows in depravity. Bangs Baphomet, but only once in a while. Notes.
Godspeed.
Be right back. Alright, and we're back. Alright, let's see. It was a good idea of mine to introduce you to high society at this reception. We're a subject of gossip among the guests. I heard them whispering about how we showed up together. So, some conversation. As usual. So what will happen at this private reception? Valexia's eyes widen and she leans forward as if letting you in on a secret. Shamira came up with such an interesting idea. Today she will dispense false justice. Shamira's voice rings out through the hall. All rise. The proceedings will now begin with the suspension of false justice. I, Shamira of the Ardent Dream, will perform the duties of judge. The rights of prosecution will be granted to anyone acquainted with rage and hatred, and the part of the defender will be given to time and blind faith. All the participants are obligated to show due dread and obedience to the decisions of the court. Now our first case is brought by the assassin Dogword against the bodyguard for hire, Control. Dogword accuses Control of being exceedingly nimble and dexterous. This excessive dexterity enabled the defendant to foil 3 assassination attempts against his employer, thus preventing the plaintiff from fulfilling his contract. Valexia is more interested in having a conversation than in watching the sham trial. You know, my dear friend, after our last, Valexia pauses playfully, visit to the Battle Bliss, I've been thinking a lot about the customs of Galarian. Despite our differences, we actually have a lot in common. Our actions and desires stem from the same passions, except that when it comes to... Valexia's eyes widen with excitement, and she utters a word that is as foreign to the abyss as you are. To love. It is common knowledge that demons know nothing about love. So why don't you explain it to me? And good as good can be. It is a pure and uplifting feeling in your soul that cleanses your heart of all burdens and pains. Valexia stares at you with wide eyes as she repeats your words. Pure and uplifting feeling. How intriguing. And how unfamiliar. Our passions are tempestuous, and our feelings stem from the darkest depth of our soul. But you say this feeling is pure. Fascinating. Growling with rage, Control the bodyguard has his head chopped off with a giant axe for being too good at his job. The crowd roars its approval, and the beaming plaintiff counts his coins. This is a perversion of justice. They're making a mockery of the very idea of a fair and noble trial. They enjoy ridiculing the law. Is it not true that love restricts freedom, and that its harsh constraints can sometimes lead to cruel, evil deeds? Does love not force people to act contrary to their desires and subordinate them to the object of their affection? Do not even the most loving souls feel occasional regret about trading away their freedom for love? Haven't the most terrible betrayals been committed for the sake of love? Doesn't unrequited love cause mortals to commit suicide? And isn't rejection the reason they often resort to violence and other terrible crimes? I am most curious to hear your answer to these questions. No, these things are caused by lust and dark desire, not true love. So you believe that real love is pure and leads only to pure deeds? If that is true, I can't help but wonder, what happens to a demon who encounters true love? Will her love darken and die, or will the demon rise above herself? The execution has the audience in an uproar. The demons howl their approval, and Shamira has to raise her voice to be heard above the noise. Next, we'll hear the case of Varsa the Nose Cutter. He attacked 2 of Evolutionaira's visitors from another plane, even though the Great Nocticula made it clear that they were under her protection. Varsa the Nose Cutter tracked down his victims in the upper city and killed them with his glaive. Then he robbed them and cut off their tongues and noses. The scrawny demon doesn't look like a hardened killer. He writhes in his shackles, yelling hysterically, "But I am not Varsa the Nose Cutter! I don't even know who that is! My name is Sharzal! And I've never been to the upper city. I'm not allowed to enter, even though that's where a slaver of my status should live. Besides, I've never held a glaive in my life. This is all Hepzibah's fault. She wanted to buy my slaves at half price and I refused to sell. And now she's taking revenge against me and plans to get her hands on my slaves. It seems to me that love is like a living creature. Sometimes it behaves one way and at other times another way. It is contradictory and inconsistent. It leads to both good and bad outcomes, and, like every living creature, it is bound to die eventually. After all, every love, no matter how strong, is doomed to die. Is that not so? Ember nods seriously. That is true. Love always ends. It either ceases to be love or is lost altogether when the one we love dies. That's why we mortals value love so much. We know that it will be over before we are ready. But that isn't true. We value it for the moments of true happiness. When you are with the people you love, you can laugh and drink and joke and tell silly stories, and you feel like it will last forever. Because when love is with us, death ceases to exist. Ember answers with a cheerful laugh. Of course you are right. What you say is so nice, and it is so true. Love does help us feel less afraid of death. It can even make us feel immortal. True love lives forever. Valencia looks at you doubtfully, but you can see how desperately she wants to believe you. Don't lie to me. I need you to be honest. Do you truly believe that? Don't answer. I can tell you're being sincere. Shamira shouts to be heard above the screams of Varsa the Nose Cutter. The court finds the evidence of the indicted person's innocence to be quite convincing. However, false justice requires every sin be punished, so therefore, I hereby declare that this demon is Varsa the Nose Cutter, and he shall be executed without further delay. Shamira throws a conspiratorial glance at Hepzibah, who stands nearby. The latter grins and bows mockingly. Shamira announces loudly, "And the last crime for today is the most harmful and treacherous. guess listen to Chimera? Yeah. The crime of sinful mercy, and the offense was further aggravated by an attempt at self-sacrifice. A tiefling is brought forward in chains. Chimera glares furiously at the bloody, beaten figure. The mortal who stands before you is a descendant of Sharzal, a slave trader who died recently. A week ago, this tiefling was offered the chance to be an accomplice in the murder of his progenitor, Sharzal, in exchange for a portion of Sharzal's slave holdings. However, this mortal refused to participate in such a cunning, high-profitable murder. Driven by some insane familial sentiment and a disgusting display of fondness, Chimera literally spits out this last word. He warned Sharzal about the possible attempt on his life and personally hired Control, one of the best bodyguards in Illusionera, to guard his father's life. Chimera has to shout to be heard over the indignant clamor of her demonic audience. There's more! During the last attempt on Sharzal's life, this mortal, driven by the most disgusting feelings of duty and gratitude for his own existence, tried to cover his father with his own body to save him from the assassin's dagger. We find such actions to be criminally insane and dangerous. Therefore, false justice demands that we sentence this mortal to death. Sharzal's property will be declared destitute of an heir, and henceforth accessible to anyone who wishes to take possession of it. The tiefling is too weak to protest, and at a signal from Chimera, he is executed by the guards. Alexia smiles at you, her eyes sparkling with excitement. She seems uninterested in the drama that just played out before your eyes. Thank you for our conversation. I expected to find it interesting, but I had no idea that our discussion would be so thought-provoking. I'm so glad I decided to come here with you, and I sincerely hope that you'll visit me again. I hope to see you at my manor soon. I host small receptions for the most interesting and noteworthy residents of the upper city. Conversations at these receptions are always entertaining. If you were to attend, we could continue our discussion about love. Of course, I seriously doubt my guests would be as interested in this topic as I am. So perhaps we should finish our conversation in private. I hope to see you soon, dear friend. Don't stay away too long. I'm looking forward to your next visit. Alexia gives you a dazzling smile, then vanishes into thin air. Alright, save. Before I do this, I want to double check. Do I still have those bonuses? Better question would be, are they enough? 25. Justice. Okay. We leave and enter again. Let's try this again.
We march ahead.
Okay. A red-haired, beautiful demon sits majestically on the throne, an aura of bright light blazing around her. It's not the gentle, life-giving light that shines on Galarian. This light blinds, withers, makes a person burn with fever, draining their strength. Huh. Alright, Shamira gives you a withering glare and hisses through clenched teeth. What are you doing here, Aasimar spawn? Do you have a death wish? Or maybe, a trace of slight interest appears in the demon's voice. Or maybe your sins and crimes caused your own kind to cast you out, and now you need a patron to protect you. Shamira throws a casual glance at Arushale and raises an eyebrow in surprise. So the rumors were true? Arushale, you really are making friends with mortals now. I must admit, I found it hard to believe such a worthy daughter of the Abyss had fallen so low. Shamira falls silent, but receives no answer. Well, not that I really care. I came here seeking your patronage. Shamira looks you up and down with a contemptuous expression that answers with a scoff. So what use can you be to me, you foolish little mortal? The most powerful demons serve me. What can your pitiful self offer me that they can't? In your mind, Shamira's voice sounds calmer, though it is still arrogant. In truth, there is one thing you can help me with, Galarian. But the others mustn't know about it. Work for me and I'll grant you a share of my attention and patronage. No doubt you have already heard of Nahendrian crystals, objects of astonishing power that grant their owner incredible abilities. Everyone in Elutionera knows they exist, but no one knows what they are or where to get them. No one except for that smug cow, Hepzimira. I want you to find out what they are. My advice is to start searching in that pile of refuse known as the Lower City. Ask for Zephyrian, my predecessor, now a beggar. If that pathetic wretch is still alive, he may know something. Now go, and don't bother returning until you have the information I need. Here, take my mark so the arch near my palace will let you in. I don't want to waste my time waiting while you wind your way back through the streets of my city with valuable information. Your pack becomes a bit heavier as if some new item has appeared inside it. Shamira's gold coin. The hand of the inheritor addresses you, an undercurrent of alarm in his words. I see greed in the eyes of this fiend. She is ready to offer you a deal, and I sense that more than idle interest lies behind it. We both know Nahendrian crystals can make demons immensely powerful. We are pursuing Hepzimira to prevent her from creating and unleashing upon us an army of mythical monsters transformed by these crystals. Yet, if you reveal the secret of the crystal to Shamira, we risk simply trading one enemy for another. Our mission demands that we make concessions, but it does not mean we must blindly obey every demon's request. Weigh each of Shamira's words, remember how cunning she is, and do not let her turn you into a tool she can use to commit atrocities. Armor your heart and do only what you must. Not what she, with all her promises and charms, will try to convince you to do. And be prepared to find a knife in your back at any moment. So you and Hepzimira aren't friends, I take it? In your mind, Shamira's voice answers with an arrogant scoff. Be friends with that miserable cow? Of course not. I'm courting her to learn her secrets, but it's a constant struggle not to put her in her place. Baphomet's minions are far too bold here in Illusionera. Tell me about these crystals you're so interested in. You haven't heard of the Nahindrian crystals? Ha, are all Galarians so stupid and unobservant? They are purple crystals. Possessing them grants immense power. Unfortunately, only high-ranking servants of Baphomet know where to find them or how to use them. They use the crystals to gain tremendous power, and now they strut around Illusionera like they own the place. Why should I look for Zephyrian? When I first heard about the crystals, it reminded me of the last days of Zephyrian's rule. He was Nocticula's right hand before me. He was plotting a coup, and I was spying on him to turn him into Nocticula and take his position. I remember that he was trying to get his hands on a purple crystal of some kind, and that he eventually succeeded. I didn't pay much attention at the time, but the current situation makes me think. Perhaps it was the Nahindrian crystal he was after. If so, Zephyrian might know something about them. Where should I look for Zephyrian? There is a note of disgust in Chimera's voice, in the depths. If he is still alive, the gravity of Nocticula's punishment would have dragged him to the very bottom of Illusionera. Dig through the garbage, talk to the vagrants and beggars. You surely don't expect me to do it, do you? Why did you choose me for this mission? Chimera answers with an exasperated sigh. Because you are neither a demon nor a resident of Illusionera. You are a wild card, an insignificant Galarian. No one is interested in your exploits, and you will not draw any unnecessary attention. You are not bound in service to any demon, and therefore, if you dig up any information, you will bring it to the one who will pay you the most for it. That is to say, me. You won't run to your master because you don't have one. At least not here in the Abyss. If I gave this task to one of my servants, I could be sure of only one thing, that they would sell the information about my interest to my enemies, and then, if they learned anything about the crystals, they would use this information to benefit themselves instead of bringing it to me. Alright, everything is clear to me. Wonderful, because this conversation is beginning to bore me. A few questions. With a sigh... Do I have time for this? Yeah, I got time for this. With a sigh, Chimera hisses irritably under her breath. Curse Nocticula's hospitality for bringing these strangers from other planes to my city and my harem. I want to know more about Nocticula. Pursing her lips in a smug smile, Chimera answers with venom in her voice. What exactly are you expecting to hear from me, beyond what any other resident of Illusionera could tell you? Yes, I am closer to Nocticula than anyone else, but do you really think I'll spill her secrets to you? Our Lady in Shadow doesn't like to be discussed behind her back, and the scope of her realm, the entire Midnight Isles, proves that her anger can be extremely dangerous. She is worshipped on many planes, including Galarian, right? At night, she sometimes comes to insane rapists and murderers, and paints in their minds pictures of immorality and horror, masterpieces of lust and despair. She is the first succubus, the most powerful and most seductive, the murderer of countless demon lords and usurpers of their abyssal realms. Oh geez, how did I miss you all this time? Sorry, I'm like, hey Atrocious, it's fine. Like, can't be on all the time. Besides, I got the chance to see some of your Bard's Tale run. Pretty neat. I really like the portrait you got for it. Anyway. Right. Over the bodies of her victims, she climbed to unbelievable heights, and now she stands far above her loathsome brother, Sakafbenoth. Thus she has proved her victories were gained not just by the means of her power, but also by her great intelligence and willpower. What kind of harem is this? Shamira snaps irritably. What do you think? Because I am Shamira, the ardent dream, the chosen lover of the great Nocticula? Every time she grows weary of plots and conspiracies and craves wild passion, the warm caresses, she comes here to her harem. Yeah, I changed the portrait just now. It was bothering me too much. Didn't have a tail. Fair enough. Let's see. I've seen you with Hepzimira at the flesh markets. Tell me about her. Hepzimira is an honored guest here in Alushanera. I am not going to discuss her with every stranger I meet. In your mind, Shamira's voice sounds nervous and angry. Don't you use your brain at all, Galarian, to ask such foolish questions. You can't show any open interest in that horned scum. Did I somehow fail to convey that the most important requirement of the task entrusted to you is discretion? With a dark sigh, Shamira starts to speak in a patronizing tone. Hepzimira is no mere offshoot of Baphomet's line, but a Nephilim, his own daughter. Considering how fertile the old goat is, this might not sound very impressive, but she is the most powerful and capable of all Baphomet's children. To attract her father's attention, she sacrificed her 5 elder brothers, and then, to earn his approval, her own mother. Baphomet generously shared his power and knowledge with her. He even gave her command of his favorite toy, the Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth. Moreover, he entrusted her with a secret mission directly linked with Nahendrian crystals. After that, the cloven-hoofed twit became insufferably arrogant. I could barely refrain from ripping her head off. Be extremely careful during your investigation. Hepzimira is strong, cunning, and cautious to the verge of paranoia. If she catches the merest whiff of your interest, she'll immediately eliminate you. And you'd better pray to your gods that not even your shadow points toward my harem and hints at my involvement. How did you achieve such a high standing? You don't know my story? This explains why you're not on your knees before me. I was once a celestial being, and my fiery wings carried me from the upper planes to insignificant little worlds like your Galarian. I gifted fantasies and dreams, kindled flames in the wild minds of dreamers, and I loved it. Sometimes these fantasies took shapes too daring and unbridled, or so it seemed to me, but I made no effort to stop it. A dream is a bird, not a horse. You can't restrain it, you can only hurt it with your reins. The dreams I sowed were becoming more daring, bolder, and with them I changed as well. One day I rejected the limitations imposed on me by my masters. In the world I was visiting, a wildfire of dreaming broke out. A dream so daring and bold it could come to fruition only through great atrocities and monstrous immoral deeds. I could have stopped it, but I didn't. I was mesmerized by this great vision. I didn't return to my world, as I would not be accepted. Instead, I descended into the abyss looking for someone who would truly appreciate me and the dreams that I bestow. Nocticula noticed my flame blazing over the dark waters of the ocean. She came for me and shrouded me in her shadows. That night was very memorable. Since then, I have served her and have been her closest friend and her right hand. Alright. Do you really hate Aasimars and kill them brutally? Shamira smiles, looking very much like a large and hungry cat that has just spotted its next victim. Oh yes, it is an incomparable pleasure to gradually deprive them of everything they once had. First their hope, then their noble appearance, their innocence, and finally their life. When they scream, renouncing everything they once believed in, their masters, their gods, their heritage, it is music to my ears. Shamira's eyes narrow, her expression unkind. Do not for a moment think I am unaware of who stole that batch of young Aasimar women from me. The ones who'd been shipped to Nyunk in the flesh markets. I'll remember that, Clavarian. I have no more questions. Shamira responds with an icy smile. I was happy to satisfy your curiosity, you annoying and talkative mortal. I have to go. Go now and come back when you have something useful. My time is precious, and I can't waste it on every mortal who fancies a chat. Alright. And with that out the way, we begin our trek to the lower plains.
I swear it. Be gone, fiend! Do not hold back.
Well, you're trying.
These magics should be used in other ways.
Fight came and gone pretty quick. Right. Let's pick this up.
I'm glad I was useful to you.
What is this?
I finished here. Is there more?
Masterwork Star Knife. Small Moon, 30 feet. No, it's just the slave market.
Our path leads on.
I'll go through there later. For the time being, just loot the bodies. Fallen Hunter. Alone, Scimitar. Robe of Determination. This might be useful. Let's see, whenever the wearer of this robe casts a spell that forces a fort save, DC goes up by 2. Also increase the wearer grants the wearer +2 bonus to caster level checks to overcome spell resistance. +4 on concentration checks and spell resistance 18. Damn. I'll look into that later.
I will guide us.
Where the hell is the portal?
Let us press on.
Wherever it is, I'll have to find it later.
Our path leads on.
Right. Actually, we're getting close to time, so I'll call it for now. And so, thank you all for joining me on this run of Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. I should be back on tomorrow at the usual time. So don't worry, it's a good portrait. Alright, look forward to seeing it. Alright, until then, please take care. Just gonna save and then close.